Welcome to the Ben Daniel Podcast, where we're calling a spade a spade. Great day to be here with you today. Caitlyn Clark and Paige Bueckers. The question going on today is Paige Bueckers, yes or no, a generational talent? Folks, this has been all up and down social media, Twitter, Instagram, and it all started with one lowly tweet by the number one gunner for CCFC on Twitter, called Ken Swift. Folks, before we get into this, please, at Ken Swift, go give him a follow, go give him a shout out, retweet, like, all that social media engagement stuff. Ken is very good staying on top of anything Caitlyn Clark, anything the Indiana Fever. So please, salute to you and shout out to Ken Swift. Ken comes out this morning and says this: I'm undoubtedly a huge Caitlyn fan. She got me back into sports after 18 years away because I stopped watching all sports after I had my daughter. Salute. She was the Rocky Balboa of women's basketball. She's hands down my favorite athlete playing sports right now. That being said, I think Paige is a generational talent. They are very different players, but both amazing in their own right. I wouldn't know who Paige was if it wasn't for Caitlyn, right or wrong. I am not going to let Caitlyn haters try to wedge me from being a fan of Paige because I feel compelled to compare the two. I personally think Caitlyn is better, but I can also like a ribeye steak and a lobster tail and say they are both amazing in their own right. My advice, for what it's worth, is enjoy both players. They are amazing, super special, talented young ladies who I do believe do a great job in the way they carry themselves both on and off the court. I think we are lucky to be at a time to enjoy them both. And to think, we have Juju and now Hannah Hidalgo as sophomores coming right behind them, and Mylasia Wiley and Tessa Johnson. I'm not going to get antagonized into tearing down a player I like, just like they try to do with Kelsey Mitchell. Now, let me just address the analogy before we get to the generational talent elephant in the room. I can also like a ribeye steak and a lobster tail and say they're both amazing in their own right. This is more like the best steak you've ever had versus the best burger you've ever had. The steak isn't just it's just in another class, right? They're both amazing, and the steak's just in another level of a nice steak, medium rare, maybe some chunky potatoes, some asparagus on the side, no sauce. We don't do sauce with our steaks around here. And then you got the burger. You got a nice medium cooked burger. You got a fresh Jersey tomato. Yes, Jersey makes the best tomatoes. You get a fresh, thick cut Jersey tomato, some lettuce, some onion, some bacon on that bad boy, some cheese, barbecue sauce. I love barbecue sauce in my burgers. Bam! Plop that together. Woo! You got the best steak and the best burger. Both are amazing, but one is just a little bit of a higher dollar amount, if you catch my drift. One'll tap your pockets a little bit more, and oddly enough, Caitlyn Clark, when it comes to getting people to dig into their pockets and toss some money, Caitlyn Clark is the steak of this. Caitlyn Clark is your highest priced cut at your local steakhouse. Caitlyn Clark is going to your butcher. Let me get that prime cut. Yeah, I want to pay extra today. I'm feeling good. Let me get that prime cut. Meanwhile, Paige is, let me get your best ground. You know what? I'll ground the beef myself. Let me get your best New York strip. Let me get your best bison. And I'll ground it myself, right? I'll take some time. I'll ground it myself. Formulate a nice patty. Throw some spices in that bad boy. Formulate a nice patty. And there you go. Both are great. But one is just levels above the other, right? Caitlyn Clark will have you spending your money. I want this merch. I want that merch. Oh, a basketball. I want that. Oh, a Rookie of the Year t-shirt. I want that. Oh, my God, there's a ticket still on sale. Let me go get that. Oh, my God, I got to fly across the city to see her. I'll go do that. Caitlyn Clark is just in another class. Paige Bueckers is great. But we need to slow down with the term generational, and that leads us to the conversation of the day. Is Paige Bueckers a generational talent? And I think the fact that this is even a conversation answers the question, no, she's not. When you think of Hall of Famers, you get asked the question, hey, is so-and-so a Hall of Famer? If you need to think about it, the answer is no, they're not. So if we apply that, is Paige a generational talent? She's a great talent. Top of the line when it comes to women's basketball college, right? Top of the line. Doesn't matter. She's been in there an extra year. Doesn't matter. She's always been good. Top of the line, Paige Bueckers. But is she a generational No. What does Paige do on the court that makes you guys go get your mother, your father, your wife, or your husband, your niece, your nephew, your son, your daughter? What makes Paige's game make you run all around your house, your apartment? Hey, come on, Paige is playing. Hey, come on. Nothing. She's really good in all areas. She's not generational. She's really good in all areas. She's not generational. What does Paige do great? Let me know in the comment section below. What does Paige do great? That might just end this. That just might end this in itself. The answer is not a damn thing. She's good in multiple areas. She's very good in certain areas. But is she great in any specific individual area? No. Is she a great passer? No, I wouldn't say she's great. Is she a great shooter? No, I wouldn't say she's great. Great defender? Nope, wouldn't say she's great. What Paige is great at is doing this. That's what Paige is great at. She's great at doing that on TikTok. She's great on doing the smack the floor and then flex and post that on TikTok and Instagram. That's what Paige is great at. Can you find a few great plays? Yes. Yes, you can. But is she great in any specific? Is she a great shooter? No. Passer? No. Dribbler? No. Defender? No. Rebounder? No. But the fact that she's good or really good in multiple areas makes her a great player. Are you following me along? But being a great player doesn't make her generational. Are we following me now? Just because you're a great player doesn't mean you're generational, okay? Let me just put some things out in its perspective. Things can change, right? Paige can do something special this year that makes people say, oh, yeah, you know what? That's a generational type talent right there. She's got to do something pretty impressive, folks. Winning a championship isn't going to make people say, oh, she's a generational talent because she stayed an extra year at UConn and won a championship with a stacked roster. It's not happening. That's not happening. That's not happening at all. So, when she comes to the WNBA, what can she really do to make her great? To make her generational? Excuse me. To separate her from being a great player to a generational player. She's got to show us something that makes us believe that she's generational. But Ben, she's really good to good in pretty much every area. She doesn't have a weak spot. Surely that's generational. No. That's great. It's not generational. It's great. It's not generational. When we start talking generational, we start getting compared to the greats of the game. Let's take a listen here.
You know what? We were talking about this before the game. During the summer, when the Indiana Fever played here with Caitlyn Clark, the building was packed every game. The TV ratings of the Fever this summer for the local telecast were higher than a lot of the Pacer games because of Caitlyn Clark.
Yeah, right. She really galvanized this city.
She's doing rating-wise for the WNBA what Michael Jordan, LeBron James, Steph Curry have been doing for the NBA.
And there it is. When you're in conversation with Michael Jordan, LeBron James, Steph Curry, that makes you generational. When you're in conversations with other really good women's college basketball players and you're just better than them, that just makes you great. That just makes you great. Off the court, there's really no comparison anywhere, folks. I don't see the I can sit here and say, oh yeah, Paige is great. She's a great women's college basketball player. She is not generational. She is not generational. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Is Paige Bueckers a generational player? Yes or no? If she is in your mind, let me know why. If she's not, let me know why. Appreciate all the support. As always, take it easy.